I'm your host, Chance Dickman. Today we have three highly qualified contestants who will duke it out on a number of sporting news topics. Stay tuned, Sports Scene is next.
We need more headroom.
All right, we have some technical difficulty back there in the studio. All right, guys, before we get it kicked off, we're going to introduce you to our contestants today. First off, we have Cole, I'm going to get it done today, Gallagher. In the middle, we have the lovely Courtney Zahn. And to wrap it up today, we have the best Brett Favre impersonator we could find, Joe Etten. All right, guys, to lead it off, the Badgers went into Michigan State this weekend. Tough game for the Badgers, probably their toughest of the year, seeing as that they wiped out Nebraska at home. But a last-second Hail Mary ended it for the Badgers, bumping them all the way back to 15th in the rankings. Cole, what do you think?
Well, before the game, the Badgers averaged over 50 points a game, 50.2 points per game. But I don't know, Paul Chris, the offensive coordinator, said it best when he said, "You've got to make plays when you've got the opportunity." And the Badgers definitely did not make those plays. Jared Abbrederis played terribly. In fact, he dropped a 77-yard touchdown pass that would have been for sure. They would have scored on it. And there was a lot of miscommunication between Russell Wilson and Nick Toon. Nick Toon didn't look up for a ball, which led to a Wilson interception. And Pedersen also didn't look up for a ball, which led to another interception. I don't know.
That is the truth. It was hard for the Badgers offense to get it going. Courtney, what do you think about the topic?
Well, I totally agree with Cole 100%. The Badgers just did not deliver. You know, they've been having pretty much what you call a fluff schedule so far this season, you know, and they finally get a contender and they don't know how to deal with it. Russell Wilson, who many can say is a Heisman contender, brought the Badgers back from, you know, a 14-point deficit in the fourth quarter with a touchdown pass to Monty Ball. But really, you got to look at who played better. It was definitely MSU, and Kirk Cousins just definitely delivered with 3 touchdowns and 290 yards.
Absolutely.
Joe, do you agree or disagree?
Well, I agree with Courtney on the fluff schedule. I like to call it a cupcake schedule. I don't know why the Badgers had that, 5 games before this going into this game.
And Nebraska was pretty easy.
Yeah, that was the only possible challenge, and Nebraska was easy. It sucks it came down to that official review because I don't think, just give it to them both in overtime and let them each hash it out. That's the way it should have been decided.
You guys, I liked all 3 of your topics. Courtney, I'm going to have to say that I agreed with you the most. Courtney leads 5-0 on our first topic, and I'm sorry, this marker did not go the way we planned. All right, Christian Ponder, next subject, makes his debut against the Green Bay Packers this weekend at the Metrodome. Some would say he played quite well. Guys, what do you think? Courtney, you started off.
All right, I actually agree with you. I think Christian Ponder, for a rookie in the NFL and in his NFL debut, actually had a really great game. They didn't come out with the win, but he played really well. He the Vikings were leading 17-13 when they went into half. And, it's a big thing to say when you're up against Super Bowl champions. You have a team with Aaron Rodgers, Charles Woodson, all this other big experience. I think he did a pretty good job. But it all came down to points, and Green Bay came away with the win.
Joe, what do you think about the struggles that Christian Ponder had to go through in this game against the Packers?
Well, he did good. The first half, definitely, to come out. But the Vikings in general have not played a good, second half games this entire season. But Christian Ponder made a lot of, the 2 rookie mistake interceptions he had. Charles Woodson got both of those. And but to come out and take the place of McNabb, fill those shoes. They weren't big shoes because McNabb hadn't been performing the way he should have been. Definitely.
But he is a seasoned veteron, so it is still a big shoe to
terrible
fill.
season.
Like Courtney said, though, you come in, you play the Packers. They're just dynamite right now, and I don't know if anyone. This is kind of a biased opinion, but I don't think anyone's going to take the Packers anytime soon.
That's true. Cole Gallagher, what do you got, buddy?
First play of the game, touchdown, Christian Ponder to Michael Jenkins.
That was not a touchdown, Cole.
It was a touchdown. It was a touchdown.
1 yard line.
I thought it was a touchdown. It looked like a touchdown. I'm pretty sure it was a touchdown.
Came back and gave one to him.
Yeah.
They did.
But Ponder can really sling it, man. He can throw the ball in there. There's a lot of flashes of very good things to come for him.
Is this going to turn out to be an actual good pick by the Vikings, guys?
Yeah.
He was taken really early. He was taken before some of the two main guys that were supposed to be taken before him.
They should have made the trade from Donovan McNabb to Christian Ponder long ago.
Yeah.
They might not be 1-6 right now.
Like they were saying during the game, commentators, I mean, this guy's a smart guy. And he's been showing it, and he only makes a couple mistakes. And I think those will get figured out real quick.
And he was excellent in college, being a 3-year starter at Florida State.
Yeah.
Guys, this was a close one. You guys had all very good topics. I was not a big fan of Cole's miscue with the first play touchdown. Joe Etten will win this round.
All right.
Whatever. Did you see Rosen kick that guy in the groin too, by the way?
Yes,
I did. There was a lot of iffy calls in that game. Well, switching from the football field over to the baseball diamond, guys, the World Series is going on. The Rangers have taken 2 of 3 at home, now lead the series 3-2. Heading back to St. Louis. Joe, start it off for us, buddy.
Well, about last night's game, I don't know what that miscommunication was between Tony La Russa and the bullpen, what was going on there. From what he said, apparently he made the call back to get Mott in. That didn't happen. And I guess, they got to figure that out. I mean, Tony La Russa is not a guy that makes these type of mistakes. And, bringing in guys from the bullpen, that shouldn't be that difficult.
The crowd is so loud, though.
Yeah, and MLB's got to figure out problems with getting that figured out. Bullpen calls. Apparently, that was.
But the thing is, it has really never been documented to happen before. Cole, do you agree with this whole Cardinals bullpen
No, it's
miscue?
ridiculous. The crowd was loud, and they should have figured it out. It's their own fault. I don't care. And the Rangers are going to win the World Series, so it doesn't matter. Mike Napoli is the little Jim Thome, as I like to call him.
You bet.
He just crushes the ball every at bat. He seems like he's the MVP of the World Series so far.
Exactly, I totally agree.
And they're finally figuring out how to walk Pujols. Apparently, the Brewers weren't able to do that very well.
And Pujols also had a very questionable play last night with the hit and run in the top of the ninth inning.
That was awesome, by the way. Napoli just.
Oh, it's perfect for the Rangers.
Yeah.
But Courtney, what do you think about that situation?
Like you do, Pujols, he thinks he's pretty great. He is pretty great. I will agree with that. But it was a little sketch to me. But it worked out well for the Rangers. I think the Rangers are doing great right now. They, it's been kind of back and forth the entire series. Especially in Game 3, St. Louis winning 16-7. Kind of an odd matchup. But I don't think we're going to see a Game 7.
And C.J. Wilson actually had a pretty decent game, only giving up 1 or 2 runs that were earned. I hate to say this, but Cole Gallagher is going to knock this bad boy up. He's knotting this bad boy up. And we have one more topic to go in this first round. We're going to break the seal here, starting off and now ending. The NBA lockout is been huge, guys. It's they were talking about canceling 2 more weeks of the season. Yep. Courtney, what do you got here? What's going on with the NBA?
Actually, as of today, they have confirmed that they're canceling 2 more weeks of the season, and it all comes down to money. Who has it? Who doesn't? Who wants it more? And unfortunately, nobody can come to an agreement. Owners met today, and we're talking to deliberations. If they want any games before Christmas, they need to come up with a schedule and get this all solved by Thanksgiving. And it's getting close, so it's getting a little scary.
Joe, what do you think, bud?
Definitely a problem there. I'm not a huge NBA fan. I'll say that right up front. But this is just despicable to me. The fact that you have the owners and the players, and this happened with the NFL too. I find all these lockouts just disgusting, honestly. They're making millions. And they're greedy, and they're fighting over losing these millions when you have people that work for these NBA teams, such as the ticket stand people and the concession people who are out of jobs who don't make that much money.
I got a question for you, Cole, to wrap up this subject. The NBA, they have an 82-game season where they only pay 5 players, to start off a game and to produce wins. Do you think that an NBA lockout to get these players more money, aside from the NFL where they have 53-guy rosters, do you think there's a difference there? Do you think they deserve more NBA players?
I think they do, because if you take an NBA player out of the lineup, that changes the entire complexion of the team.
You bet.
As opposed to an NFL team where you can just add and remove people, Like, if you took Kobe out of the Lakers team or LeBron off